Good morning.
Good morning, Yoshi-san. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. How are you today,
I'm fine,
Yoshi-san?
thank you. And you?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. I'm doing great too. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Anyway, how's the weather today, Yoshi-san?
It's very fine. But it's Japanese middle of autumn, and not too hot. It's very comfortable.
Oh, that's good. I see. All right. So the weather today it's almost autumn, right, in Japan?
Pardon?
It's almost autumn in Japan.
Autumn, yes. From
Oh.
the September into the Japanese autumn. So.
Ah, I see. All right, thank you so much, Yoshi-san. And anyway, Yoshi-san, today for your lesson is you are now in Conversational American English 48. Now, page 48, talking about books.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for confirming. So, Yoshi-san, now let's start. And first, let's talk about the picture here below. So, can you tell me what are your idea or what can you please describe the picture?
Okay. In this picture, I can see the one thick book. It's opened middle page of book. I guess this book's front cover is red because I can see the edge of red front covers. And also I can see the white bookmark string. Over there of this book, there's so much big globe, and that globe shows United States, Mexico, Blue Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Caribbean Sea, many of Caribbean islands, and I guess this picture shows implicated very important things. If you can read a book, you can understand the world. Open the book, there's various regions of the world. So the book is definitely window of the world. I recall I read a lot of books when I was commuting by train, and a book can do comprehensive studies. Anyway, what the important thing for human is always lose inquiring mind. That's all.
Oh, thank you so much for that wonderful description for the picture, Yoshi-san. So now, Yoshi-san, let's go to exercise 2. We have here speaker A and speaker B. They are having a conversation. So first, I guess I will be speaker B and you will be speaker A. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's start, please.
Okay. Hey, do you remember the quote you told me yesterday? You was a quote from the economics book you have been reading.
It must have been from the latest book of Gregorio because that's the only economic book I've been reading.
Yeah, I guess that's the author. We were talking about deficit spending, and you quote something that Gregorio has said that I thought was so accurate.
Are you talking about what he said about national or international policies?
National.
I think I know what you were referring to. Let me get the book later because I can't recall the quote exactly myself.
Thanks.
Okay, so now let's do switch roles
Okay.
to understand it more. All right, so Yoshi-san, you will be letter B this time and I will be letter A. Okay, let's start. Hey, do you remember the quote you told me yesterday? It was a quote from the economics book that you have been reading.
It must have been from the latest book of Gregorio because that's the only economic book I've been reading.
Yeah, I guess that's the author. We are talking about deficit spending, and you caught something that Gregorio said that I thought was so accurate.
Are you talking about what he said for national or international politics?
National.
I think I know what you are referring to. Let me get the book later because I can't recall the quote exactly myself.
Thanks. All right, thank you so much, Yoshi-san. So now let's have our idea about the conversation. So what do you think Speaker A and Speaker B talking about?
They are talk about the book of Gregorio. It's economic book, so mainly talking about deficit spending. That's all.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. So, Speaker A and Speaker B are talking about the quote that Speaker B taught him last yesterday, and he was thinking of it that is an accurate quote. So he was asking about it for Speaker B, and so since Speaker B don't have the book with him, so maybe he will get it maybe tomorrow or some other time, and then talk it and tell it to Speaker B. So this is a book about the latest book of Gregorio. This is national. It talks about national policies. It's economical book that is Speaker B is reading. And yeah, that is all they are talking about the conversation. So now, Yoshi-san, do you have any questions about exercise 2? Maybe some unfamiliar words?
Nothing in particular.
Thank you so much. All right, so now, Yoshi-san, let's go to exercise 3, the vocabulary. We're going to read these expressions here, and please make a sample sentence using these words. Okay, thank you. So let's start with number 1, please.
To give words or passage from bring forward as an example or authorities. So China and also Korea, and they have a national event. They always apologize for World War II behavior in Japan. So they are thinking the big event, national event, is a good opportunity bring my country. So they are wanted just spread their propaganda. So it's under the history, Japan definitely offends their dignity, but successive Japanese Prime Minister apologized many times that war is definitely aggression and inhumanity. Many times to court, but they don't satisfy. I think in Japan, same behavior to your country, but almost Filipino people don't bring to Japan no more. It's a very friendly, so we very appreciate your country's behavior to Japan. I always thanks and admire. That's all.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Wow.
Is your
That's
country
very
some of the older people blame sometimes to Japan. They don't talk about that.
Yeah. Actually, we don't talk about it. Anyway, that was too long ago. That issue was too long ago. So why keep on bringing it back, right? So maybe let's just forget about it. That was too long ago also. And then we have a good relationship also with the Japanese people and the Filipino people. And most of the Filipino people loves Japan.
I think the national character between the Japan and your country is almost same. So Japanese people is very easy to forget. So and you know after World War II, so the United States soldiers occupied whole our country, but most of the people become friendlier soon, so they almost forget the blame of World War II. So Japan is it's a good point or a bad point, so easy to forget everything. So but I don't believe China and also Korea people don't forget their getting damage World War II or other
I guess so. Yeah, but and up until now, Chinese people are still keep on doing something like to argue with some little things, like so that they can make some issues or damages or something, so that they can give back to what happened before. Like now, usually China is keep on doing some issue. Like for example, the Philippine Sea and the China Sea right now, they are keep on arguing with it. As well as in Japan, there are also some seas in Japan that they are making some issues with the China Sea. So I don't know, maybe they don't really forget about what happened before, but you know what? It's still long ago. That was way too long ago. The impact is already done, and let's just forget about it. Because if we still think of it up until now, it will just damage everyone's mind, and then it will trigger every people, and then it will trigger their minds also, and they will get mad. They will get angry. So in that way, they don't have a good relationship with other countries, and that is not good. I see. It's not a good way, right? Because maybe some other time we go to other countries too, and we don't want to treat it badly. So maybe it's good for us to forget everything. Yeah, and as well as in Japanese people, I think Japanese people are so good. Maybe that was just before. Maybe just before. About this issue before. Maybe there are some problems. There are some troubles, right? So maybe, and nowadays I can say that they are so good. They are very kind and they are very hospitable. I can see that. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's what I have observed in some of my students. Yeah, and they are so good. They always respect. They always do respect. Yeah.
Respect
Yeah.
each other. So.
Yes, I agree with you. So it's important to respect each others right now. And if we still argue with the problem, then maybe there is a more, like maybe it will become just like the World War II. What happened in the World War II, right? So it will be a very bad impact for everyone, especially the kids. So it's better to forget it. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for that, Yoshi-san. So let's have number 2, please.
Deficit shortage. So the Japan has so much massive deficit. Totally amount of the money is 100 trillion yen. It's so much big deficit. So the per person, whole Japanese, from the baby to the almost dying old man, each person gives 8 million yen to government. So it's awful heavily liabilities. So actually, in Japan, already financial ruin. So we don't have the stabilized enough revenues. So we are worried about the someday crashed Japanese economy. And that's, I don't know when, but it's inevitable consequence.
Oh,
That's
I see. Oh, really? It's really happening also in Japan?
yes.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's that's the common issue here in the Philippines, actually. Yeah, I think that was too long ago that we have that issue. And up until now, it's not yet solved. Yeah. Okay, let's have number 3. Yoshi-san, please. Thank you.
Recall, remember. So I have 3 grandchildren. So their behavior or expression sometimes recall me of my 2 children's errors. That's all.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they are just look like your kids when they were little.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that wonderful sentences and explanation, Yoshi-san. So let's go to exercise 4 now. This is based on the dialogue that we read. So number 1, what are the speakers discussing?
They talk about book of Gregorio.
Yeah, so they are talking about the book of Gregorio, an economics book. And there is a quote. There is a quote there that speaker B talked about to speaker A, and he was thinking that it is a nice and good quote for him. Okay, next. And number 2, who is Gregorio?
I think Gregorio is a scholar of the economy, or he might be the economic critic. That's all.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Actually, so it's just say here, Gregorio, but maybe this Gregorio was he was a philosopher a long time ago. He was a great philosopher in a very long time ago, maybe in 2000 BC, that studies different things and discovers the world and made a book, a book of history that discovers many things before, and up until now, it's keep on. It was a great book that has proved many things that happens a long time ago. Yeah, so he was a great philosopher. I just forgot the whole name. I remember he is Gregorio. He is also one of the great philosopher Aristotle and Plato, and Gregorio, and there's more. Yeah. Okay.
Where nationality is Gregorio?
I think he is a Spanish.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Like a Spanish name, I understand. So is he still alive?
No, he was not. I think that was maybe 2000 BC before Christ. 2000 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
2000?
Yeah.
Old philosophy.
Maybe 100, because people before can live 100 more than 100 years.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't know. Thank you.
Yeah.
I admire you check the Gregorio. After this, I check the Gregorio information. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. The people before were so amazing because they can live longer because they are very healthy.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, number 3. Do you often read books on economics?
I like to read Japanese novel, but I don't read so often practical books because practical information I can get through the internet or television, newspaper, magazines. But recently the internet can read some concrete books, also magazines and practical books sometimes. So that I sometimes read that kind of book through the internet.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much. Next one is number 4. Are you acquainted with deficit spending and how it is operates?
I don't know exactly, but I told you every year Japanese budget, government budget, half of is spending deficit. So the every year government debt accumulated, of course. So it's impossible to pay back that kind of debt, and I believe someday crashed. But I hope it's that kind of crash after I dead.
Okay, I see. Thank you so much. All right, so next one is number 5. Yoshi-san, how would you describe the economy of your country?
Under the COVID disaster, so Japanese economy get strong damage, and at that time, the lot of the bankrupt company and increase unemployment people. But recently, the so-so come back. We used to, and I think about economy, all country has some kind of problem. I think Europe sometimes big demonstration and queer riot. But in Japan, I don't know why there's dissatisfaction, big dissatisfaction, but no demonstration. So recently the Japanese young generation is very obedient, gentle. That's all.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, and thank you so much. Oh, wow, that's a very nice explanation. And now let's have the perspective in exercise 5. Yoshi-san, are you agree or disagree? And please explain why. The worth of the book is to be measured by what you can carry away from it. This is from James Bryce.
It's a very important factor for the books, especially the entertainment book. But I think if don't sell so much, but important book, there's a lot of this kind of books. That's all.
Thank you. Very good. Okay, next one. The last number. Anyone who says that have the only one life to live must not know how to read a book. The author here is unknown yet.
This sentence is perfectly right. It's a very good sentence. So I perfectly agree this sentence. So our life definitely finite amount of time. But when the people read a book, they can understand feeling of rich person or a feeling of the murder crime people. That's all.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Yoshi-san. Wow, that's a very wonderful idea today. And Yoshi-san, do you have any question for our lesson today?
Nothing in particular. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And Yoshi-san, I have to say goodbye for now. Thank you so much for having me today. Have a great day. See you next
too.
time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.